As September draws to a close, the world's weather patterns are shifting, signaling the transition from summer to autumn in the northern hemisphere. This is a time when the atmosphere is especially dynamic, and meteorologists are on high alert, watching for any signs of significant change. The global weather map is alive with activity, with swirling clouds and storm systems moving across continents and oceans. From space, you can see the planet's atmosphere in constant motion, a reminder of how interconnected our weather truly is. The Atlantic is our main focus right now, with Hurricane Gabrielle gaining strength and two additional disturbances, Invest 93L and 94L, emerging on the scene. These systems are creating a complex and evolving forecast scenario that demands close attention. These storms have the potential to impact a wide range of areas, including the Caribbean, the Bahamas, Bermuda, and possibly even the U.S. East Coast. Residents in these regions are watching the forecasts closely, knowing that conditions can change rapidly. The tropics are at their peak right now, fueled by exceptionally warm ocean waters. This heat provides the energy that storms need to intensify, making this period one of the most active and potentially dangerous times of the year for tropical weather. While the Atlantic currently poses the greatest threat to land, the Pacific Ocean is also seeing significant activity. Typhoons are churning near Asia, and hurricanes are spinning over open waters, reminding us that severe weather is a global phenomenon. Our job as meteorologists is to piece together this atmospheric puzzle using advanced computer models, real-time satellite data, and years of experience. Every new data point helps us refine our forecasts and provide the most accurate information possible. The proximity of these Atlantic systems makes forecasting especially challenging. When storms are close together, their paths and intensities can influence each other, adding layers of uncertainty to the outlook. This uncertainty means everyone from the islands to the U.S. East Coast should stay alert and be ready to act if warnings are issued. It's important to monitor updates frequently, as situations can develop quickly. In this breakdown, we'll cover each system in detail, discuss their potential impacts, and share what you need to know to prepare for any scenario. Understanding the risks is the first step toward staying safe. We'll track Gabrielle's projected path, analyze the developing invests, and explain why the forecast remains uncertain. We'll also look at how these systems might interact and what that could mean for affected regions. We'll also take a quick look at Pacific activity, highlighting any storms that could pose a threat, and end with crucial safety advice to help you and your loved ones stay prepared. Being prepared is your best defense against severe weather. Stay informed, have a plan, and let's dive in to see what the coming days may bring. Hurricane Gabrielle rapidly intensified into a Category 4, showcasing the power of peak hurricane season. Now weakening, Gabrielle is moving east-northeast, away from Bermuda and the U.S., but heading toward the Azores. A hurricane watch is in effect for the Azores, where residents should brace for strong winds, heavy rain, and rough seas. By landfall, Gabrielle will likely be a Category 1 or a strong post-tropical system, but impacts will be significant regardless. Such storms rarely threaten the Azores, making this a serious event. After the Azores, Gabrielle's remnants will bring rain and wind to Portugal and western Spain. Even as a post-tropical system, Gabrielle can still cause disruptions in Europe. Thankfully, it stayed far from North America. Invest 94L is the immediate threat in the Atlantic, currently unleashing heavy rain across several tropical islands. The system is already making its presence felt, with persistent downpours soaking the region and raising concerns for communities in its path. Along with the rain, gusty winds are battering the northern Leeward Islands, causing rough seas and hazardous conditions for both residents and travelers. These winds, while not yet at hurricane strength, are strong enough to disrupt daily life and pose risks to small boats in coastal areas. The National Hurricane Center is closely monitoring the situation, giving Invest 94L a 90% chance of developing into a tropical storm in the coming days. This high probability means that preparations should be underway now, before the system intensifies further. Although the system is still somewhat disorganized, its projected path takes it directly over the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. Here, the risk of flash flooding and dangerous mudslides is significant, especially in areas with saturated ground or steep terrain. At this stage, the main danger is not from destructive winds, but from flooding. Torrential rain can quickly overwhelm drainage systems, leading to flooded roads, homes, and businesses. As Invest 94L moves northwest toward the Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas, Meteorologists warn that conditions will become increasingly favorable for rapid strengthening. The system could organize quickly, catching some off guard. The warm ocean waters in this region act as fuel, providing the energy needed for the storm to intensify rapidly. This is a critical factor that could turn a weak system into a much more powerful storm in a short time. The big question now is where Invest 94L will go next. Its future track remains uncertain, and small changes in its path could have major impacts on different areas. Forecast models show a wide range of possible tracks, with Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, and the Bahamas all within the potential impact zone. Residents in these areas should pay close attention to updates as the situation can evolve quickly. Some scenarios bring the storm into Florida, threatening the peninsula with heavy rain and strong winds, while others show it curving northward along the coast. There are also possibilities that the system could head out to sea, sparing the mainland but still affecting marine interests and island communities. With so much uncertainty, everyone from Florida to North Carolina should monitor official updates closely and review their emergency plans. Early preparation can make all the difference when facing a rapidly changing storm threat. Invest 93L, farther east in the Atlantic, is also under close watch. It's not an immediate threat to the Caribbean but could impact Bermuda or even the U.S. East Coast next week. The National Hurricane Center gives it a 60% chance of development in the next 7 days. Unlike 94L, 93L is better organized and likely to become Tropical Storm or Hurricane Julian soon. Its projected path keeps it east of the islands but brings it near Bermuda, possibly as a hurricane. Bermuda residents should monitor this system closely. The track of 93L depends on how it interacts with 94L and larger weather patterns over the U.S. Some models pull it west toward the U.S., others curve it out to sea. With two strong systems in play, the forecast is complicated and could affect millions along the eastern seaboard. Stay tuned for updates. Forecast uncertainty is high due to the potential interaction between Invest 93L and 94L. When two tropical systems get close, they can alter each other's paths in unpredictable ways, a phenomenon called the Fujiwhara effect. Computer models struggle to predict these interactions, and a small error can lead to big changes in the forecast. Adding to the challenge is a developing cutoff low over the eastern U.S., which could steer the storms toward or away from the coast. Major models like the ECMWF, GFS, and CMC all show different scenarios, from Gulf landfalls to storms curving out to sea. Even AI-based models show a wide range of tracks. We won't have a confident forecast until the storms organize and begin to interact. That may not happen until early next week, leaving a short window for preparation. Stay alert for rapid changes. The Fujiwhara effect is central to this forecast challenge. When two cyclones get within about 900 miles, their circulations interact, causing them to orbit a common point, like dancers spinning together. If one storm is stronger, it can absorb the weaker one, leaving a single larger system. If both are similar in strength, they can dramatically alter each other's tracks, pulling one north or west unexpectedly. This is why the U.S. East Coast forecast is so tense right now. The Fujiwhara effect can also impact storm intensity, sometimes weakening or strengthening one or both systems. With both storms still developing, models are struggling to predict how this dance will unfold. The outcome could determine whether the East Coast faces a major hurricane. It's a meteorological puzzle we're watching closely. The next few days will be critical. Stay tuned for updates as the situation evolves. While the Atlantic is busy, the Pacific is also active. Hurricane Inarda, a Category 1, is safely over open water and poses no threat to land. In the western Pacific, Typhoon Regasa is bringing heavy rain and wind to South China and Southeast Asia, with flooding risks in Vietnam, Laos, and Thailand. Another system, is developing and could threaten the Philippines, including Manila, early next week. Residents there should stay alert, as typhoons can intensify rapidly. Typhoon Neoguri is moving away from Japan, bringing relief after an active season. The Pacific's flurry of storms, from Inarda to Regasa, and Neoguri, shows this is a truly global season of heightened tropical activity. Forecasters worldwide are on high alert. Stay informed if you're in these regions. Beyond the tropics, the U.S. mainland is experiencing its own dynamic and impactful weather story. unfolding far from the hurricanes and tropical storms that often dominate the headlines this time of year. A stationary front now stretches all the way from northern Mexico, across the Gulf states, through Florida, and up along the East Coast. This boundary acts as a dividing line, separating warm, humid air to the south from cooler, drier air to the north, setting the stage for a variety of weather conditions across the region. Along this front, showers and thunderstorms are developing, with the Ozarks standing out as a particular hotspot today. Here, the atmosphere is primed for severe weather, including the risk of large hail, damaging winds, and even isolated tornadoes. These storms can develop quickly, catching some communities off guard. That's why it's so important for residents in these risk zones to stay alert. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive weather warnings, whether it's a smartphone app, a weather radio, or local news updates, so you can act quickly if severe weather threatens your area. Meanwhile, in the northeast, a steady rain is falling. Welcome news for a region that's been dealing with dry conditions. This rainfall is helping to replenish soil moisture, reduce fire risk, and support autumn foliage, which relies on adequate water to reach its peak colors. It's important to note that this weather pattern isn't connected to the tropics. Instead, it's a classic setup for autumn, when shifting jet streams and changing temperatures bring a mix of rain, wind, and cooler air to much of the country. Looking ahead, meteorologists are closely watching the evolution of this pattern, especially the development of a cut-off low-pressure system. This feature could play a major role in steering any potential tropical threats that might approach the U.S. next week, influencing where storms go and how strong they become. Although the East Coast may seem calm right now, this tranquility can be misleading. It's the perfect time to review your hurricane plan, check your emergency supplies, and make sure your family knows what to do if a storm threatens. Think of the evolving weather pattern as the lock, and any approaching tropical systems as the key. How these two interact will determine what, if any, impacts the mainland might see in the coming days. So stay vigilant and enjoy the current quiet, but don't let your guard down. Keep an eye on the tropics, stay informed, and remember, preparation now is essential for staying safe later. With so much uncertainty, preparation is essential. Have a family plan, know your evacuation zone, meeting place, and how you'll communicate if cell service fails. Build a hurricane kit with food, water, a radio, flashlight, batteries, first aid supplies, medications, and important documents in a waterproof bag. Don't forget supplies for pets. Stay informed through official sources like the National Hurricane Center and local emergency management. Be cautious of rumors on social media. Prepare your home, check storm shutters, secure loose outdoor items, trim weak branches, and review insurance coverage. Take these steps now, while the weather is calm. Being ready reduces anxiety and saves time if a storm threatens. We'll keep you updated with the latest science and safety tips. Stay safe, stay prepared, and stay tuned. Hurricane season isn't over yet.